got Elsa Dillon coming up next. I believe this is Elsa's first public speaking engagement. And she is going to share with us a whole range of different topics and information regarding her contact experiences. But firstly, we're going to start off with watching a video with Elsa. And she just wants to introduce her family via video. Is that correct?
Yeah. You got to watch them. They're crazy. Oh, no, not this one. It's the other one. Sorry. That one will throw them into a spin. I did this last minute to Anthony, so they've been... I was a career woman. I didn't plan to have 8 children. No, I don't think anyone does in this age plan to have 8 children. But I did with my husband. And when we had our children, we wanted them to come through as clean skins. My terminology is from myself and my husband. We didn't follow anything spiritual. We didn't follow anyone spiritual. We just learned things. We started with feng shui. Then it went to herbs, slowing our speech down, understanding words, astrology, mythology. And then something happened. We started having children. We had natural births. We chose not to. It was really hard being a mum. It was really hard. It was also hard because I had my other life as a fashion photographer and my husband also a fashion photographer. So we have now parents and fashion world. So we had these 2 worlds going on. Just to give you an idea of the type of people we were around with fashion photography, I would travel the world shooting for Marie Claire, Vogue, Elle. I would shoot celebrities and I would see them before they show up for you. Who you see on those magazines, on the TV, I see them when they turn up at 2 a.m. in the morning, before they've had makeup. I helped make who they presented to you. And now I am before you presenting for the first time, which my kids think is insane. They're like, what are you going to talk about? Are you going to talk about all the stuff? I went, well, they want to hear it. They want to hear it. We've been presenting for a year, and we've kept quiet about our encounters and our happenings because we didn't feel that we wanted to upset anyone. We didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. We didn't want to make people feel uncomfortable. We could already feel people feel uncomfortable with us. They could only be around us for a few minutes and then they'd have to go away. We are here. I am here because I love my kids and I love being me and I love my husband. And if I can ignite anyone to do what we're doing and maneuver your way through this new way coming, then this is exciting because this is where I go with you. We have come here as arcs. I believe we are all arcs and we all spin our own spin. We carry water in us and we all have ions. Ions, atoms, ions. This is where the intelligence is. It's in the water. I'm not intelligent. I'm dyslexic. But yet I can read hieroglyphs differently. I can reword words. I reverse the spin on words. I take the words back to the origin word. Yet I was dyslexic. How do I know this? I don't. I just allow it to come through. Allowing's a big one. But through us allowing our children from birth and prior to birth and before birth, they're walking proof of every speaker here that we've already had today and yesterday. Our children and our family prove all these speakers are absolutely on the right path because our kids are doing it. Our kids are from 1 to 10 and every single one of them is an experiencer. They channel, they talk to their oversoul. If you don't understand the whole concept of oversoul or how we interpret it, I'll just give you a rough. We believe you have an oversoul and your oversoul incarnates in different realms. And we believe our family has incarnated twice here on Earth. I kind of wish that we hadn't because it just was so weird. Everything's so weird. But you know what? COVID makes my weird really normal. I love it. When COVID came out, I was like, thank you. That's the calling because now I can actually speak up. Now, through speaking up, I re-healed my regressing teeth. My teeth were literally falling out of my head. My husband was saying, you just look like a skeleton. I have photographic proof. I went to the dentist 2 weeks ago and he was like, this, I've never seen this before. I have regrown my teeth from speaking out. And you can see them growing from the inside. He had a student dentist there. Even the student dentist came over and opened my mouth to see. So he was excited. So now we're teaching the medical profession a new way as well. Okay, so I was in the group and I kept feeling the crowd, seeing which way I'm going to take this because the topics, if you go on my website, it's endless what I can talk to you about. I had my beautiful friend up the back said, please tell your whale stories. If you want to know what our family can do, it's pretty much everything, and I don't say that in an egoic way. All my information I just share out is unconditional, meaning, like David Icke said, it is none of my business what you think of me. Very tough for a mum going to school with school mums. You don't want to be, I used to dress down to make them feel better, and then I realised this isn't going to work. People look at me and think that we're millionaires. I grew up in a very normal lifestyle, really, really normal lifestyle. My parents were way too busy to be with us on the weekends. They just worked. Working was everything. 6 o'clock news on, shh. Don't talk at the table. Okay. My husband, on the other hand, is fully, I don't know where he's from, but he's out there. He's very connected. And when we came together, something happened. I had a near-death experience the day before I met him. And one of my daughters told me that she killed me before I met him. Now that sounds horrible, right? This is how our kids speak. They speak to their oversoul. Their oversoul tells them a message and then they channel it through to me. She's the electric one. Each child has a gift. Through astrology, we worked out what their gifts were at 10 days old. Wow. So cool, because it took the heat off me as mothering. I could see their personalities come through. I didn't tell them their personalities, it just presented. So it's in the stars. 1997 was when I met Richard, and we went and saw an astrologer who we actually saw for 10 years after that. She called us the Bible because she had a Bible of astrology on us. She told me that you'll be royal. And I was like, royal? What the hell does that mean? What does royal mean to me? Does that mean I'm going to shoot someone royal? Wow, I've never shot royal. Maybe it's one of the royal family. Maybe it's the Dutch. Oh, maybe. So I'm going through all the royal people that I could shoot. She also said, 2023, you go global. I was like, wow, so this royal family shoot's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. I had no idea. She said to me, though, it will also be your whole family. And I went, well, that's just cancelled out my stardom with the photography. So we left that alone. We were in the financial crisis. We did all the right things. We had lots of money. Lots of money. We had boats. We did photo shoots off our boat. We had people flying all around the world. And we got hit by the financial crisis, and we couldn't find anywhere to live in Sydney, New South Wales. No one wanted a family of 7. So no one wanted to help us either, because you're the gifted ones. You've always had it easy. Look at how you look. No one wants to help these people. We had no one. So we shifted up to Byron. Now Byron wasn't cool then. And we shifted into a little shack. And I wasn't sure how our family were going to cope living in the country. And I asked the kids, what do you miss most about living on the water and in Sydney? They said, we miss our bunk beds. I'm like, are you kidding me? Not the water, not the water skiing, nothing like that. It's the bunk beds. Okay, so we got bunk beds. Put the bunk beds in the house next to the power meter box. Now this is an old power meter box. Our 2 children went downhill real quick. We couldn't take our daughter out in public. She lost her teeth, grinding her teeth down. Son wouldn't heal, had open wounds, wouldn't heal, so they turned into ulcers. Her face got so big that her eyes shut, and we couldn't comprehend what she was saying. Kept asking for help, asking for help, asking for help. Oh yeah, well that's because you haven't immunised. Oh, that's because of this, that's because of that. Thought it was cat scratch disease. We looked up everything. In the meantime, our electricity in the house kept shutting off, off. The electrician that would come out all the time, even the real estate agent said, what is wrong with you people? Why is the power going off in your house? We can't afford to rewire the whole house. Anyway, one night it blew up, caught on fire. And we were out in the 20, 30 minutes from anywhere. And one of those rainy nights in Byron, and rang up the electrician and he said, look, I don't know if you're going to get anyone out there at this time. You've blown up the whole area though, by the way. And he goes, you know, I've been telling you, you people are weird, so whatever it is. Anyway, he rang the electricity company, the state electricity company. 3 trucks were passing our driveway as he was calling. Dovetailing. We just heard about dovetailing, synchronicity, it's begun. So that night I looked up ETs, ghosts and angels, and I realised that they connect through water, they connect through electricity, glass, metals. I looked at Rich and went, I think someone's trying to tell us something. We shifted the kids out, we learned about EMF. The kids started healing the next day. Took them to iridologists, 2 specialist iridologists, and they said it's like looking in the eyes of a 98-year-old person. They had depleted that much in 6 months from sleeping next to a power meter box. Anyone that's involved with crystals, we held a crystal up to the wall, it bashed the wall. Bashed the wall. 2 weeks later, doing my hair in the mirror, and my father is Egyptian, he was born in Egypt, and I was doing my hair going, why do I have black hair? Because it's kind of weird because I'm a blonde. Why do I have black hair? Why do I have black hair? Why am I asking why do I have black hair? Neph comes through, Nefertiti. Nefertiti was the bust that my father had, was the only artefact that he kept from Egypt when he came out on the boat, because they lost all his luggage. And he had the Nefertiti bust in his brother's luggage. So my father's luggage is still in Sydney Harbour. Why is Nefertiti coming through? I didn't actually know if it was Nefertiti. I thought it could have been Cleopatra because I didn't really have great understanding of Egypt. Well, let me tell you, boy, did that speed up real quick. Once I had acknowledged 2 weeks ago ETs and angels, and then now Neph coming through the mirror, I started to realise that she's talking to me. I'm going, okay, this is what happens when you go through a financial crisis, and this is what happens when you have your children damaged. So I'm, giving it excuses all the way along. Then they said, it's not just you, it's the whole family. Okay, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. How is this possible? I don't want to do this. Anyway, so Neph and Akem's family presented to us. Not only did they present and start looking, we noticed similarities. We started to realise that each child was in the same timeline as them. How is this possible? It's a crazy story. I had to deal with it for nearly 12 years, 10 years by myself, because it was hard to prove to anyone. So then I learned about regress, started to regress. Wow, that was interesting. Started to regress, I would regress, and as I regressed, I would tell the family the story, and they're like, yeah, no, not another one of these stories, Mum. Then I would hear from them, come and have a look what's on the news. Come and have a look what's on the news. You've changed history. What you did in your regress has just changed history. How is this possible? So time started to collapse for me. I kept saying to Neph, how is this possible? How is this possible, Neph? Time is not what we think it is. And this is a big one. This is a big part of the Matrix program. How do we dissolve time? They are running parallel to us. And I know this because I had another happening with Natasha's meditation up here in the back. As I'm presenting today, Neff is presenting to her world as well. And that happened yesterday. That was a mind blower for me. So we got this whole other realm thing happening. Then the ETs start happening. The UFOs, we're seeing a lot of the craft and everything. Then we get to 2017, November 2017, and I hear things calling me out. I hear animals, I hear trumpets in the sky. I go outside, stand out with the horses, and I'm looking up at a craft with the horses. Horses don't look up. They just don't. They don't look up. They're looking up. And I'm in the middle of the herd. They're protecting me in the herd. Now, that experience, come back inside. I worked out that I had seen a craft, told Richard. After that, the family wouldn't talk to me anymore. And they said I smelt different. The animals wouldn't let me pat them. They stopped calling me mum. They said I was different. They said I was possessed. We related to that craft because we had seen quite a few. And Richard said, you're going to have to go and do some kinesiology because this is really affecting us in our marital. It's affecting the children. No one wants to talk to you in the family. I did not think anything was wrong. I had no idea what they were all going on about. Went and did kinesiology. In the session with the kinesiologist, she said, you're fine, clean slate. Everything's fine on you. You're hydrated, you don't need any herbal flowers, nothing. She said, I'm going to try one last thing. I'll check, I haven't done this before, but I'll check. She checked if it was outer worlder. Bang, straight to that date. And I was like, this is great. I was so excited because now I'm not possessed. The kids have said I was possessed. I'm not possessed now. So she runs out the room. She's literally shaking. She goes and gets the principal to come in with her. And they said, look, you've had an outer world experience. So you've been gone for quite some time. Right? What do you mean I've been gone for quite some time? You've been gone for quite some time. Okay, so they left. They kind of hurried me out after that. I went out back to the car, told Richard I wasn't possessed. The whole family we were in rejoiced that I wasn't possessed because they didn't have to throw holy water on me and I didn't have to eat any more garlic. Anyway, that was the catalyst for our children. Our children, it was like, it was a covenant or something, a protection over the family. And I knew that we did have this with Neff. Neff and I did have discussions about this where it was a protection over her family and mine. We weren't allowed to interfere. Well, this date, after this, the military craft got bigger, the animals got bigger. My kids are all drawing beings. They're having encounters. Not only are they having encounters in their dreams, they dream together. They have encounters in daytime, at nighttime. They can call in stars. They know how to map stars with their hands the ancient way. They speak Arabic. They have never met their grandparents, our kids. How do they know how to speak Arabic? They said their horse taught them. I'm like, how does your horse teach you Arabic? They're writing it. And they're telling me what it means. I go, how is this possible? I have 3 or 4 writing light language. This is to heal. This is to heal this. This is to heal that. This is to heal this. Okay, all right. And because we were in an allowing, surrendering state, it comes through. It just comes through. It comes through. So we have the whales. The whales are beautiful. The kids all pick on me about spiritual stuff, by the way, even though they're all involved in it. They do tease me about it. So they say, oh, don't bring Mum out on the boat. Please don't bring her out on the boat. She's going to call in the whales. I go, I don't call them in. You call them in just as much as I do. Anyway, we had one day where we were out on the boat and we have footage of it where we called the whales in. I took my ching-chings out. I love the ching-chings. Took the ching-chings out and we ching-chinged and we had them torpedo us. There's a footage of this on our website. Wow. They have never seen whales make a right angle. They tell me messages. I understand their song. How do I understand how a whale talks? Last week on my birthday, I asked for peace from the whales because my son had been out earlier in the morning and the whales were chasing him. They chase him round. They feel your energy. The plants feel your energy. The birds feel your energy. These lights have been flashing the whole time we've been here. Every time I ask a question, they set off. I have to stop thinking of questions because they keep flashing at me. They're not just flashing for me, they're flashing for you guys too. We are all in here for a reason. Everything that crosses our path is here for a reason. There are no randoms. Last week we had a craft go over and the craft, so I can hear what they're saying. The craft was the divine idea now comes to pass. The divine idea now comes to pass. So what does the divine idea comes to pass? Well, that's written by a famous spiritual person called Florence Chevelle. She wrote the book, The Game of Life. I think it was in the 1800s. Please check data because I'm not really a data being. So that was way back. The divine idea now comes to pass. The divine idea. What is idea? Now I spoke about this with my new beautiful friend, Rubia. The idea. I. D is two. Ear. Two eyes, two ears. An idea, that's what an idea is. An idea is something you see, something you hear, and then it can go either way. This is what an idea is. We are Magi ones, all of us. All of us here are Magi ones. And we have to remember that we are Magi ones, which is reincarnate. Remember means reincarnate. We have to remember that we're the Magi ones. The Magi ones were before the scientists. They were before the colleges. They were before religion. You would go to the Magi ones because they could see stuff. They could hear stuff. Why do I hear stuff? Why do I see stuff? So I can share it with my children so that we can maneuver our way through the tricky stuff, because it is really tricky. And even with our family all being able to do what we do, we still have challenges, but we just seem to maneuver our way through them. Some of the experiences can be scary, but what are you scared of? Are you scared of that memory of that movie you saw, or the noisy move? Our littlest girl, Jeannie, she's a classic. She does this scary voice. She goes, la, 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 la. And we're like, Jeannie, shut up. We have two friends that are like 6'5", they're this tall, and they come over and they go, we're leaving if she keeps the song up. We have seen dark beings. What's interesting though with these dark beings is once you get over the fear and worry, a lot of them shapeshift into something different. That they're not what you think they are. We've had a lot where we've healed lost souls. And it feels good. It just feels so much better than this COVID. It feels better than consumerism. It feels better to heal myself without having to go and give my power to someone. It feels good. Me having my own will and my own choice feels good. I'm not saying it doesn't feel hard, because it has been tricky having these choices of, it's challenging. It is, it's really challenging. Like even last night in the hotel room, it was challenging for me to sleep in a hotel room. I haven't been out much. I had to pull out all the power cords around the bed. Richard goes, what else do you have to do? Because I'm really tired. I had to get my own smells on me so I could smell my own smells, not the hotel smells. Like I had to get the environment ready. When I turn up here today, I am conscious of my ions, because my ions are talking to your ions. So when my ions are talking to your ions, my pupils are talking to your pupils. We are learning. And you have to be responsible for your ship. And my kids love saying shit. You do, you have to be responsible for it. Because you are here as a being, an ark, with your ions that you are carrying to act. And all you are here to do is sense. That's it. Nothing makes sense. This is the pivotal point that we are at right now. Nothing makes sense. What does this mean? No thing, so no matter, makes sense. The only thing that matters is that you have sense. You have to have your sense. We've had our gifts turned off. And our gifts have been turned off deliberately. This is why they can't remote view past this date. The reason they can't remote view past this date is because of the Magi ones. They cannot remote view imagination. Now imagination, you go, oh, that's so cute, that's for the little kids. No, it's not. It's for us. Imagine. Imagine, so have your feelings, have your sense, then allow the imagination to come through. Allow it, allow it, allow it. Practice it for a week. If you think I'm crazy, just practice it for yourself for a week. Allow it, practice it, allow it, practice it, and watch for the small. Watch for the small. Because they are not here to hurt us. They are here to guide us. They do know we are fragile at the moment. They call us the fragile ones. A lot of the kids' beings will say they call us the fragile ones. The reason they call us the fragile ones is because of everything a lot of the speakers have been talking about. A lot of our bodies are fragile at the moment, and that's okay. We are also here to experience it our way, and my way is not your show. My show is my show. How I show up and present, I pre-sent. I have been pre-sent. Like the stars said in 1997, I have been pre-sent to you. And you are all presents to me. All of you here are gifts and presents to me. You might call them miracles. If someone is niggling you, that is a gift. When my husband niggles me, he's a gift. When I niggle him, he doesn't think I'm a gift, but when I see him get rattled, I watch his eyes, I can see him get rattled. I go, oh, have you had the drink? Have you cleansed? Have you sat in the sun? Have you been on the phone too long? And so that's what we practice. I'm going to show you another video of the things that happen, the dovetailing from what we do. These are just a few of the video stuff of the stuff we see. But it's the dovetailing, it's the synchronicity. We have military, ET, we have it turn up in seconds. So we'll have whales turn up in seconds, animals cross our path, people will turn up. And it's getting faster and faster. It doesn't slow down, and it's daily. It's quite uncanny. So now, how do you, we have to have a strategy. It was 555. As soon as I said the word strategy. Okay, so strategy. Strategy for the new way. How do we get this happening with our children? How do we get this happening now? So take all the tools that you have right now, whatever profession you have, all the illnesses, all the sadness, all the anger you have, whatever you have, wherever you are, wherever you live, is a tool. It might be the house where you live, it might be the crystals under the ground, it might be you live near the ocean. Look around, look at yourself like a show, and what is presenting for your show. Take those tools and use them now. This is what you have been gifted with now. There is no blame, there is no guilt. Return to your place of entry, placenta. Turn here. It's not your mum's fault, it's not your dad's fault. Come back to here and start from here. Start fresh and look at the whole show from there where you started with that first breath. Take all those senses and all those tools and gifts and go, what can I do with them now? And you might not get an answer for a while. You might have to go and do something, you might have to cleanse, you might have to sit with it for a while. But keep asking, what can I do with it now? Because every single one of you in this room now is part of the new way. There is no such thing as old age. We don't believe in old age. You can heal at any time. We heal ourselves. We don't go to any practitioners or doctors. We do it all ourselves. We make our own herbs and we crush our own charcoal from the fire pit. We heal all our animals. None of our animals have been to a vet. So you can do this. We can do this, but you have to believe that you can do it. If you're still playing out the matrix is mothers being tricked. What better way to trick civilizations but trick the mother? Because what does the child want to do when he comes out? He just wants to please the mother. Then all the issues start. And look, you know, my kids don't think I'm perfect either. They have lots to say about me. But if you can come back to this place, placenta, placebo effect, start here, see what your show is, see what your gifts are. Forget about all the stuff, just start there. Work with what you have. Because every single person in this room is part of the new way. And it's a big job. But it's also a fun job. And you can make it fun. But you have to let go of the matrix. You have to let go of this. It's not healthy. It's tired. It's old. My last film that I went to see with Richard was The Matrix. Do you want to hear uncanny? The whole film was shot where I lived in Sydney. I used to sit with Mr. Smith and we'd ask him for salt and he'd pass me the pepper every morning while he was shooting it. Keanu Reeves, his hairdresser, was my hairdresser, private hairdresser. I only did certain people. And Joe would say to me, you have to get here earlier, you have to get here earlier so you can see Keanu. I'm like, I don't want to see another celebrity, I'm with them all day. He's going, oh, but you keep missing him. Guess how I'd see him? He'd flash past me in the lift. His black coat, my black coat. I didn't know what the Matrix film was about. Even when I saw it, I still didn't know what it was about. The lady in red got the job because of Richard and myself. Because she was one of our favourite models. He took her to Greece. The White Rabbit, she's another one. How is this possible? This story is so crazy. It is. It's so crazy, this story. And it just continually confirms with the dovetailing and the synchronicity that I just don't dismiss it anymore. Also, my teeth have grown back, so I use it for cosmetic reasons. Because Richard says to me, you have a lovely smile. So I even test everything I'm talking about. I keep testing with you, so I'll go 2 weeks or 3 weeks without doing an interview or going social. Kids go, Mom, what's going on with your tooth? I go, oh. I obviously have to go and speak again. As soon as I speak again, so I test it. I test it all the time. And that's what we've been doing the last 30 years. We test it, trial and error test it. Does it work for you? Does it work for you? And some things don't work for each person, but they might work for someone else. But we're here to sense. The divine idea now comes to pass. Comes to pass. This last craft we saw was a compass. Comes to pass, comes to us. This is it. This is it right now. This is it. So, hopefully, I haven't rattled anyone. Dark chocolate after this really helps. It really, really helps. So, thank you for my first presentation.